What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on some recent comments that Dwayne Wade made about LeBron James and the incident that went on with LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Right. In some ways, I think Dwayne Wade said that he understood why LeBron James approached Stephen A. Smith. And then in other ways, he said that LeBron James was kind of at fault for putting like almost like putting a target on his son's back, like on Bronny's back. And so he brought some of that pressure to Bronny and put Bronny in a situation, you know. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play a quote from uh a quote from Dwayne Wade, and then I want to also react to some of the statements that some of the fans have made because fans, a lot of these fans in the chat really made some good points that also I want to address some of the points that these fans made. But I want to listen to what Dwayne Wade said about and this is a guy too raw for TV quoting Dwayne Wade.
Atmosphere, this toxic atmosphere when it comes to Bronny, referencing a tweet he put out early last year, in which he said that Bronny was better than a lot of dudes in the NBA. Saying, quote, Bronny is my guy, but Bron did put some extra heat on Bronny. And when Bron put out that tweet about he's better than these cats in the NBA, they checked that. They was like, oh, okay. And I think it was something like, I think he said something about he was watching League Pass. My son Bronny is better than half these cats in the league. It's lightweight, hilarious, or something like that. First of all, it's bad enough that when you really look at it, he's shitting on the NBA product.
And so I agree, like I agree with T Raw when he said that um when he said that his son, who at the time Bronny, I don't think Bronny was even in college, or he might have just got to I don't think he was even in college. And so he said that his son was better than a lot of the guys that was in the league. And so that was an insult, especially when his son wasn't even starting for the high school team that he was playing for. So if he's not even starting for the high school team, he's not the best player on that high school team. I don't know why, you know, he would think that his son was better and than the guys in the NBA. And I know a lot of people say, well, what would like any parent thinks that they're as Draymond Green even said that their parents always think that their kids are better than what they are, right? But LeBron is not the only person with a son that's playing in the NBA, and I can't recall anybody else, probably besides I think it was LeVar Ball who said that his son was better than Steph Curry, and you saw the amount of pressure that it put on his son, that he put on his sons when he got to the league, and so LeBron James comes right behind LeVar Ball and does the same thing, which I think um it just put a target on his back, and so and then by the time his son does get drafted, he goes number 55. A lot of guys want to, there was going to, you should know that the guys were going to try to go at Bronny James, and so part of that, of the situation that occurred with Stephen A. Smith, I think Dwayne Wade is saying part of that is LeBron's fault, because if you put that type of statement out there, people are going to call you on it, especially if your son underperforms, which his son has done. His son has underperformed. And that's why, that's part of the reason why Stephen A. Smith was telling, LeBron James that, to really to cut it out, and to if anything, if I think the situation, if LeBron James had not have made those statements, I think, because a lot of people, in my opinion, really didn't go really in on Bronny James. People are being honest about the fact that Bronny James is not, NBA caliber, but they really not going in on him. You know, you have so many different ball players, like I said, who have sons in the league who just they don't take that route. You got Gary Payton, who got his son in the league, Kenyon Martin, his son is in the league, Scottie Pippen. I'm not sure if his son is still in the league, but his son, and Shaq had his son trying to make it in the league, and nobody made those kind of statements because they know and they recognize that the kind of pressure that will put on their kid was just probably just you don't want to give anybody else any extra motivation or some type of bulletin board type of material. I mean, motivate somebody to go extra hard. You don't want that. You don't need that. That don't really benefit you. And for LeBron James to put that out there, I just question his judgment. Even nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with thinking that your son is and your kid is good, right? And having confidence in your kid. But sometimes it's best to have quiet confidence and don't allow your kid to develop without putting that extra pressure on them. And that's where I think LeBron James probably I think that's where he messed up. He just put that extra pressure on his son, and it just was unnecessary. But some of the comments were, because like I said, I thought some of the comments were kind of interesting. This one comment says that Wade been calling LeBron out ever since he didn't go to his Hall of Fame speech. Let me see what else it says. It says he said the same thing. Let me see about his teammate when he didn't go to Kobe. I guess he didn't go to Kobe's. I guess that was Kobe's when it had like the service for Kobe, right? And LeBron James didn't go to that. So I think some people are really trying to hold like against LeBron James some of the moves that he has made. Like this one incident this one statement kind of just opens the door for LeBron James for people to just pull receipts just across the board. Anything that LeBron James do, like people just pulling receipts, and let me see. This right here says Bronny hit 1-3 against the Nuggets last night, and it was a top video hitting on ESPN. And see, that's another thing. Like I think people also feel insulted by like you're insulting their intelligence when a guy hits one shot and then you want to lead off ESPN with that. I don't get the purpose for this. I've never seen them do this type of show this type of special treatment for any ball player or their kid, that has made it to the league. I just never really seen that. So I'm wondering like what is going to become of this situation, like when LeBron James retired, and what's going to happen to Bronny James, you know, um, is the league really that dependent on LeBron James, whereas though they have to cater to LeBron like this, and so that's my question. Another person stated that LeBron James is what happens when you're surrounded by yes men. And see, that's what another thing. I kind of question LeBron James's his judgment on a lot of things, and like the people that are around him. Like who is advising LeBron? Like who do he trust to give him a straight up answer, or to tell him the things that he need to hear and not the things that he want to hear. I thought that was a good point because I have always, you know, questioned his judgment. And you'll find that with a lot of athletes. Athletes get so used to people telling them yes and telling them that they can do this and they can do that, that a lot of times their judgment is off. And that can be your downfall too as an athlete, something like LeBron James. And I thought that, and I still think that this type of situation is going to come back and bite LeBron James, because it's going to set him up for a failure. He's so used to, like I said, saying people catering to him and telling him what he want to hear, this type of, he won't be ready for when somebody just tell him no and give him like the wake up call. And so that's what I was, that's why I said that Dwayne Wade, maybe he is a little bit jealous or a little bit peeved that LeBron James never went to that Hall of Fame his Hall of Fame induction, right? And so, but it really don't seem like that to me. I think Dwayne Wade just realizes like what kind of person LeBron James is. And when you ask him questions about the situation, he gives his input. I thought Dwayne Wade answer was honest, and it didn't seem like he was holding any type of grudge. I think also I think you can tell that Dwayne Wade really he realizes like the kind of person that LeBron James is. He don't really have to be around LeBron James, so there's no reason for him to hold any type of grudge or really like speak out publicly about LeBron. He can just go ahead about his business. And I think that and I always felt about those kind of people like LeBron James who only, they only really like they use people to like when it suits them, or they hang around people, or they just like use people when it suits their needs, and then when it don't suit their needs, then they're not dealing with them, right? So when LeBron James was in Miami, him and Dwayne Wade was buddy buddy. Dwayne Wade kind of took the back seat in order for LeBron James to be able to do his thing in Miami. But then once LeBron James had no more use for Miami Heat or Dwayne Wade, the way he left Miami without even, having a discussion with Dwayne Wade, or at least letting them know what his plans was, I think that kind of proved to Dwayne Wade that, what kind of person LeBron James was, and unfortunately, Dwayne Wade is not the only person that LeBron James has really left like a bad taste in their mouth. And so that's why I said now lately, so many people they feel like emboldened to come out and speak against LeBron James. And part of that, again, falls back on LeBron James because every superstar, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, maybe and even Larry Bird, I said in another video, all of those guys, like everybody has somebody who don't like them. And they also have somebody who can come and tell a story about them, about, that don't show them in a favorable light. But when you go out publicly also and you put yourself in a position publicly where people can be emboldened to say these kind of things about you publicly, then that's your fault. And so Michael Jordan never did that. Kobe Bryant never did that. But you hear certain people will say about about Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, like they was just assholes at times. But they never really put themselves in a position where as though it created a situation where people was able to come out and say these things. And so that's LeBron James for bringing this pressure on himself. And yeah, but I just think that a lot of people feel like LeBron James caused this situation with Stephen A. Smith. Also, so part of it is his fault. It's not just all Stephen A. Smith, although we know what kind of person, what kind of person and reporter Stephen A. Smith is. So, that's my take on it. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment. And again, don't forget to subscribe. I'm pretty close to 10,000. I'm probably like about 20 subscribers away from 10,000. So, definitely help a brother out and subscribe. Help me get to 10,000. And with that being said, I'll check you all out on the next video. Peace.